Hello carnivores, SB fam, welcome back to the channel. I am Bella, the Steak and Butter Gal, and if you're new here, I have been carnivore for 5 years now, and before going carnivore, I was vegan. So I've really tried the entire spectrum of different diets, yo-yo dieting, restricting, everything in moderation, standard American diets. I am Chinese American and I am a classical musician, and I found the carnivore diet while I was studying music in New York City. I was desperate for healing. I was also desperate to clear my brain fog. I was struggling big time with being able to focus in the practice room, being able to memorize pieces. I was starting to feel like my brain could just not catch up anymore with my goals. And today I want to revisit a topic that I filmed, I think a year or two ago, where I talk about things that I feel like are just not discussed enough in this carnivore community. Carnivore cons and negative side effects, if you want to call it that, and how I feel like one can go about troubleshooting it if they run across this hurdle. So my upcoming month's challenge, the October Carnivore Challenge, is now open for sign up. The guest speakers that I get to feature are going to be up on the screen. These guest speakers you're looking at will visit me and my challengers to answer our personal questions, to troubleshoot for us, to speak about topics that we request, and to simply just inspire. For more details on the challenge and the 90-day fat loss program, just go to sbgmeetup.com or click the link down below. So let's start. The first point that I want to bring up is it can be difficult for a lot of new carnivores to put on healthy weight and even put on muscle. This really depends on the type of person and what type of metabolism they have, how active they are, how much food they can actually put down. And I know a lot of you guys who are struggling with weight loss are probably thinking, oh, what a great issue to have. Some people come to the carnivore diet not even wanting to lose weight. In fact, they want to build muscle. They want to gain healthy weight. But when they start, they actually feel and see the opposite in results. So I understand the panic around that. This is where we do need to troubleshoot. How many meals are you eating? Are you doing 1 meal a day, 2 meals a day, 16 to 8? Are you trying to push some type of intermittent fasting routine in conjunction with your carnivore lifestyle? If so, your body is going to find it a lot harder to gain healthy weight, muscle mass, pure strength if you're just not feeding it enough protein, fats, quantity of food in general. And if you limit your meal time per day to just 1 meal a day or even 2 meals a day, for a lot of new carnivores, that's just not enough meals to meet your goal of gaining healthy weight. Everybody's journey is so personal. We all have such different histories in how we used to eat, how we used to force calorie restriction, if you ever did. I mean, I sure did. And I know for a fact that lengthened my adaptation phase when I was new to carnivore. So there are so many factors that play into everybody's journey. And then you add on specific goals that you want to meet with your body, your health, your healing, and it just adds so many variables to each person's N equals 1. I would actually lean on dairy. Now, I would not just reach for any standard generic dairy products. Choose raw, unpasteurized dairy. Now, I know a lot of you guys are thinking automatically, it's illegal in my state, I can't get my hands on any. I will link all of my favorite sources of ordering raw dairy online. It can be shipped to you. You can get raw cheese at pretty much every Costco. So if you have a Costco near you, try out that raw Gruyere. Carnivores who find it difficult to gain weight, raw Gruyere, raw cheese is going to be your best friend because there is something about cheese that opens up your appetite. We want our appetite to be open, healthy, vibrant, especially if you are trying to gain weight. So with cheese, you can kind of use that as a stepping stone to make all of your meals taste even better, to really help open up that appetite. There's just something about the flavor or maybe the casein and the high salt in cheese that really helps increase that appetite. It is also why cheese tends to cause weight gain for our carnivores who are not even looking for weight gain. So use it to your advantage for those who are trying to gain weight and struggling. And then the other solution is just eat more meals throughout the day. I know it can be a pain in the butt because you have to dedicate more time throughout the day to eat. And the last thing we want to do, I feel like as carnivores, is to focus all of our time and energy on cooking and eating. I notice that most people, when they go carnivore, one of their favorite benefits is not having to eat all day, think about food all day, that pure food freedom. I know that's one of my favorite benefits. Committing to just eating more meals throughout the day could be your answer. Another factor that I see so much with new carnivores is meat aversion. Palate fatigue, straight up nausea with all the meat that one is eating when they first start this lifestyle. It is overwhelming. I felt it myself. I've struggled with meat aversion, palate fatigue, nausea, just straight up feeling gross about meat. But there are things that you can do to prevent this from happening, to be able to sustain your love for meat as long as possible. So the first thing is really lean on variety. I always get questions in my inbox on all of my socials. I can't afford ribeye, but I really want to eat just high quality ribeyes. Or do I have to eat ruminant meat, salt and water only? I'm telling you right now that you do not have to eat exclusively ribeyes, New York strips, high quality beef, fatty steaks, beef only to reach your optimal health with the carnivore diet lifestyle. If you want to heal and you have a lot of health concerns that you want to heal, you still don't have to exclusively eat high quality beef. I have witnessed too many cases where a person enters the carnivore diet and they are so new, but they overwhelm themselves with all of these expectations of wanting to be perfect, of wanting to eat super high quality and clean. And they focus on that so much that they stress themselves out. They force themselves to basically have an aversion to carnivore because all they're eating is fatty beef only, or whatever diet they think that they have to eat to be an ideal carnivore, and they end up giving up. They end up just dropping this carnivore lifestyle. They either assume that it's just not right for them or that it's too difficult to stick to, when in my head, they probably would have succeeded and had so much more fun with it at the same time if they just ate the variety that they love. I do not wish upon any new carnivore to feel like they have to start out this lifestyle with only eating a specific carnivore ingredient. I've tried the ribeye only carnivore style of eating. I've tried beef only. I've tried chicken only even. I love doing experiments, mostly because I want to see how it changes my mood, my energy, my mental clarity. But my mindset around tweaking the carnivore diet and playing with different variables is one where I want to do it. And I truly believe a carnivore will get to that mindset where they feel comfortable, confident, and willing to experiment after they have adapted to this lifestyle. If you want exciting and yummy carnivore meal ideas, I will link my entire carnivore recipes playlist down below in the description box. Second negative thing about carnivore that I actually have personal experience with is hair loss, hair thinning, hair falling out, hair just shedding in gobs, and wanting to just cry every time you look at the floor or look at the drain after your shower. I've been there, I've struggled with that issue, and I survived. You can tell that my hair is way longer than when I first started YouTube a couple years back. So I'm sure you can see these little baby hairs that stick right up. So why is it that so many people come across hair loss when they start carnivore? The biggest point that I have to make is hair loss usually reflects the nutrient status and how well fed and nourished you are 2 to 3 months before the loss occurred. So chances are that hair loss was related and caused by your previous diet or whatever previous bad eating habits, bad relationship with food you had before you started carnivore. So I say this because I see so many carnivores, especially carnivore women. I know how important our hair is to us women and men. Good hair is a beautiful trait to have. I see a lot of carnivore women though, especially in my community, the Steak and Butter Gang, just freak out. Absolutely freak out because their hair is falling out and they just don't know what is going on. The coaches in the Steak and Butter Gang, as well as myself, we always ask, okay, what were you eating before the carnivore diet? If the member says a vegan diet, bam, right there, your body has some deep healing to do before it has the energy to focus on hair, to grow back the hair, to stop the hair loss. So if you have been on any poor diet, like the vegan diet, vegetarian diet, even pescatarian diet, or simply a standard American diet where you're eating empty calories, not a lot of high quality protein and delicious saturated fats that really nourish our body, all that hair loss is just a delayed effect from your poor eating habits. So I want to put up some photos just to kind of inspire and show how far I've come with my hair and hair growth process up on the screen right now. And I just want to advise for those who are losing a lot of hair right now to look into telogen effluvium. So telogen effluvium is triggered when a physiologic stress causes a large number of hairs in the growing phase of the hair cycle, the anagen phase, to abruptly enter the resting phase, which is the telogen phase. So the growth of the telogen hair ceases for 1 to 6 months, and on average it's 3 months, though this cessation of growth is not noticed by the patient. When the hair re-enters the growth phase, the anagen phase, the hairs which had been suspended in the resting phase, telogen, are extruded from the follicle and hair shedding is observed. Shedding of telogen hair are seen about 3 to 4 months after a triggering event. So I'll link all of the studies that I quoted down below in the description box if you want to read more in depth about telogen effluvium. To me, a triggering event includes the following: something that is very stressful, something that is traumatic to you. And this could be emotional stress, physical stress, mental stress, as well as stress brought onto the body by poor diet, poor eating habits, forced fasting, calorie counting, extreme restriction, extreme exercise, pushing the body beyond its limits. With hair loss, if you're currently going through it, that's a sign to me that it's time to give your body a break. Take care of your body, focus on nourishment. Try not to, spread yourself too thin with trying to get fit, lose the fat, up the muscle, and grow hair, and adapt to carnivore. Believe it or not, I see these types of scenarios in the community a lot, where a female or a male wants to reach all of these goals, but little do they know that obsessing over just waiting for the results to come or stressing about all of these goals is actually preventing the body from shedding the weight. It's preventing the body from feeling safe to focus on growing hair, to focus on improving the skin, to focus on improving gut issues. Whatever your major goals are, healing or body recomp, it's important that we set the right intentions, but we also create the right setting for our body. We want to be nourishing ourselves, we want to be enjoying the process, and we don't want to be causing ourselves mentally and physically extra stress just because we want the results now. If you're currently struggling with being so sick and tired of eating the same boring meals on carnivore, I personally cannot relate, because I feel like eating beef, steak, flank and short ribs, eggs, seafood, butter, fats every single day is such a wonderful way to live and eat. But I do hear a lot in the community that the meat aversion and feeling bored with carnivore happens. I just wanted to share something that I've really enjoyed using, especially for my fiance, Steak and Butter Guy. So just to preface, Steak and Butter Guy is not fully carnivore. He's not strict carnivore by any means, but I'm just so proud of him for being more open to cutting the carbs, not eating any more refined sugar and processed junk, and truly eating predominantly animal-based, something that I've really leaned on when cooking for Steak and Butter Guy, especially when I'm so busy, is an online meal delivery system called Factor. They deliver fresh, never frozen, delicious meals right to your door, so that you don't have to waste hours buying the groceries and cooking up the meal. So here is what the Factor box looks like, and I will just unbox it real quick and show you the meals that I got. They come in these cute little boxes packaged in paper, and each of these boxes are fresh, never frozen, and curated by their team of chefs so that it's delicious and packed with nutrients. The meals that I got are the shredded chicken parmesan cavatappi, the barbecue pork sloppy joe, and the queso fundido, which is made of beef. I've definitely had those days. I really don't have an hour to spare to go to the grocery store, get my groceries, and come back, make the time to cook. So Factor resolves all of that because these meals you can actually cook in just 2 minutes and it's ready to eat and enjoy. Factor keeps it interesting because they provide 34 plus different meals that are curated weekly. So you can pick and choose every single week what you would like to try. Okay, so let me show you how I cook up these Factor meals for Steak and Butter Guy's dinner. He usually needs 2 of these just because he has a big appetite when he comes home from the gym and from work. So I like to cook them in the oven. I prefer not to microwave anything, so I just heat my oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and I only need 7 minutes total of cook time before these meals are ready to enjoy. I put it in the middle rack so that it cooks evenly and really well, and then I plate it on some bowls. So it took me exactly 15 minutes to prepare these 2 meals. He just came back home. Welcome home.
Thank you.
I expect you are starving like you usually are.
I'm pretty hungry.
Okay, so he's pretty hungry, guys. And guess what? I cooked you 2 specially curated meals.
Really?
That are healthy and delish.
Queso fundido?
Queso fundido.
It's literally restaurant quality.
Question for you, would you eat this every day?
Yes. It's actually restaurant quality.
Nice.
Restaurant quality
Does it
food.
taste like Chipotle?
Better than Chipotle.
Better than Chipotle, guys. He loves Chipotle. And this is better.
It's healthier too.
It's definitely healthier. Barbecue pork sloppy joe.
Oh my God, dude.
For my carnivores who are looking to build muscle or to eat more protein, they even have protein plus options that pack in 30 grams of protein or more per meal. The add-ons are all very carnivore friendly. They have cheddar egg bites, bacon, sausages. Steak and Butter Guy has been really leaning on these Factor meals. So he comes home, takes out one of these meals, heats it up, and it's ready to eat in just 2 minutes. If you guys want to check out Factor and see what meals they offer, you can all head to factor75.com and get 50% off your first box if you use the code SBGAL50. I have included the URL down below in the description box. If there's anything that I learned after 5 years of carnivore, it's that there is no one answer, no definitive answer regarding any type of health or weight loss goal. And this applies to me, myself, and I. I don't even know what works for my body every single day because I have learned after 5 years, one day my body may be screaming for more fat. And the next day, it might actually be disgusted at all this fat that I just ate yesterday. The key to really thriving is to be open and flexible and okay with change. To be open and flexible with tweaking, with making edits, with, moving the toggle from right to left a little bit and just observing, okay? Not reacting. Don't automatically choose the path of, you saw the scale number go up and you react, oh my gosh, carnivore is not for me. Oh my gosh, things are going haywire. I need to quickly figure out what happened. What did I do wrong? What am I supposed to do now? Should I cut down the fat completely and just do a chicken day? Like, there are so many members who genuinely want help in the Steak and Butter gang, and they take the time to kind of type out what's going on in their heads. And I'm so grateful for that because it gives me so much insight in how most people who are new to carnivore connect the dots. So I have seen a scenario like this many times. A female member comes into the Steak and Butter gang. They are completely new to carnivore and they are eating 1 meal a day, right? And they have been eating 1 meal a day before going carnivore because they were keto for like 2 years. Most people come into carnivore from keto and they start noticing their weight is going up. And they immediately freak out, right? They comment their questions for the coaches and they voice everything that's going on in their head. They say, oh my God, I don't know what's going on. I thought I was doing everything right. I'm eating 1 meal a day. I'm strict, clean carnivore. And yet my poundage, my weight on the scale is going up. I cannot deal with this. The last thing I need is weight gain. I am so stressed out with work. My hormones are out of whack, right? So they're telling all of these details where I'm sitting there reading it, putting the pieces of the puzzle together when it's just not so obvious to the person that it's happening to. When I see something like that, I start asking, what is stressing you out? Because stress is the biggest enemy to our weight. Stress is one of the biggest causes of fat gain, of weight gain, okay? And then she said her hormones are out of whack. Are you on any medications? Are you even getting a regular, normal cycle? If not, what happened there? Because when your hormones are out of whack, your weight frequently fluctuates. And then she said she's eating 1 meal a day. Sometimes fasting more causes the opposite of what you think it should be. Fasting in general is a stress on our body. It is a good stress in most scenarios, but it's not a good stress when your body is already stressed out from work, kids, family. It's also not a good scenario when you already started off with wrecked hormones. And so a lot of people, they think that they can skip the priming process and just jump into OMADs, force their way into alternate day fasting, willpower their way into 48-hour fast and beyond. You can force all you want, but unfortunately your body is smart and it will find a way to bite you back in the butt and make you pay for the trauma you forced your body on. These questions about what am I doing wrong? I'm not losing weight when I'm eating less. You know, I'm fasting more, cold baths, ice plunge, all of these things that are clearly stressing out the body so much. Sometimes we just have to stop, take a step back, okay? And really just assess everything going on in our life. If there are too many stressors, that's already a red flag. If our sleep is not, peaceful, deep, that's another red flag. If we are constantly ravenously hungry, but we are pushing our way through to just complete a fast, that's the third red flag. If we are constantly obsessing over every single carnivore YouTuber's videos and trying to copy or do every single trend that pops up, that's a fourth red flag. And that flag I kind of want to talk a little bit more on. There is just no one size fits all. You could see, a carnivore that you are a big supporter of completely change their body inside and out. And you can copy the exact way they eat, how they eat, when they eat, what they eat, and you could still not get the same results. The best thing you can do is to just first tune into this, okay? Your body. We only have one body. Might as well spend most of our time and energy figuring out what our body is trying to tell us. Take notes, journal. Day-to-day journal how you feel. It's so easy to get scrambled up in life when you've got work going on, relationship issues, kids. It's so difficult to just think introspectively and tune into yourself, right? So what helps me is writing it down, journaling it, because not only am I forced to be in that zone in front of a paper with pen, I get to document it and keep it as a keepsake. Anytime I want to flip back, observe, reflect, look back, compare, I can. And another thing is find yourself a community that does not push trends, fads, crazy little, tips, cheats, tricks onto you or try to make you believe that you have to cut down calories in order to lose weight. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with those, but if someone is telling you that is the only way, I have to say, that's another red flag right there. I welcome anyone who's looking for a safe, non-judgmental carnivore community to come join us in the Steak and Butter Gang. We host monthly 30-day carnivore challenges, and you get to work with amazing, experienced carnivore coaches, as well as fantastic carnivore doctors, specialists, Dr. Chafee, Dr. Ovadia, Dr. O'Mara, Rebecca Heischman, and Sean White, the Intentional Carnivore. For more details on the challenge and the 90-day fat loss program, just go to sbgmeetup.com or click the link down below. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I really would love to hear your thoughts, your opinions on the things that I discussed, the issues that I raised. Feel free to connect with me on all socials. You can find more of me, check out all of my content, and I look forward to connecting with you all in my next video. SBG out.